So thanks for your patience as we're going live here.
I Sensei, you're at 38 participants, and I think we have all the Dharma School kids, so I think you're okay to start.
Okay, so why don't we get started? Good morning. It's April the 4th. My name is Reverend Candace Shibata here at the Buddhist Church of Stockton, and we really appreciate your attendance this morning. And again, I apologize for any technical difficulties that you might have experienced getting onto the Zoom link because I heard that the link wasn't working this morning. So I apologize and thank you for joining us. So today we have our Sunday Dharma service, and we're so thankful to have all of our Dharma friends from Stockton, Walnut Grove, and Lodi, and also our dear friends from I think from Placer, of course, and I saw somebody from Florin. But this is the beauty of being able to be on Zoom and having all of our friends from all over join us, and especially our new Dharma friends. So if we have any new Dharma friends, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll give you an opportunity if you would like to introduce yourself at the end of service as well. So thank you so much for joining me this morning and all of our Dharma friends from all over. Okay, so as usual, we'll go ahead and start with the ringing of the Kansho. And the Kansho is a bell that allows us to quiet our minds and quiet our bodies for the preparation of this service and to be able to hear and receive the Buddha Dharma. And so Kansho means tolling of the bell, which I'll be using this bell right beside me instead of using the outside bell like we normally do when we're together. So please take a moment with me to listen to the tolling of the bell. Okay, so thanks so much for sitting with me during the reading of the Kansho. At this time, we will have an opening meditation prepared by Darlene Bagshaw. please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Thank you so much, Darlene, for that beautiful presentation. It's so nice to see the beautiful trees and also all of our students and families with their beautiful smiling faces. Okay, so we'll continue on with the sutra chanting of Jusei-ge, and Jusei-ge is called 3 sacred vows. So please join me at home with your participation of the sutra chanting. Agun Chosegan Ishima Jodo Shigan Fumanzok Seifu Shogak Gawo Muryoko Fui Dai Seishu Fusai Shobingu Seifu Shogak Gashi Jobutsudo Yosho Chojipo Gukyomi Shomon Seifu Shogak Ryokuji Shonen Joei Shubongyo Shigumu Jodo Ishoten Nishi Jinikien Daigo Ushomu Saido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakuna Kaichi Again Neshi Komoan Heisoku Showakudo Tsudatsu Zenshumo Koso Jomanzok Iyodo Jipo Ichigatsu Shujuki Tenkon Pugen Ishu Kaihozo Kosei Kudoku Jodai Shuchu Seppo Shishiku Kuyoi Saibut Kusoku Shutoku Hon Kane Shitsujoman Tokui Sangai-yo Ryobutsu Mugechi Tsudatsumi Fusho Gangaku Eri Toshi Saisho Son Shiganya Gokan Daisen no Kano Koku Shotenin Touchi Myoken Namandabe 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 Ani Pyodo sai don mo dai shin audio Namandavats, 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 namandavats. Okay, so thanks so much for chanting along with me. Our next thing for this service is the golden chain number 2. So please join me at home by placing your palms together and reciting the golden chain with me. Golden chain 2. I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful words, to say pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in the Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 So thanks so much for joining me in the golden chain number 2. I apologize. I lost my place for a moment. I'm actually wearing not necessarily new glasses, but they're a little bit new for me since I'm not necessarily used to wearing them. So they're progressives. And so it gets a little blurry. So I apologize that I goofed and I went on to the next sentence, but I'm sure all of you at home were able to follow along just perfectly. So thank you so much. At this time, I would like to share just a few thoughts and words in a Dharma message or sermon with all of you today. And today's Dharma message was actually inspired by Koichi Mizushima's Dharma message during the Stockton Buddhist Women's Association. They had a service called the Dana Day service. And this was a really beautiful service in which Koichi Sensei spoke about the act of Dana. And for the Stockton Buddhist Women's Association, Dana is a huge aspect of their association in general. And typically some women's associations will do particular activities each month to show their act of Dana, their selfless giving. And Koichi Sensei, he is a minister's assistant from the Buddhist Church of Sacramento. And again, he spoke about this very important practice as selfless giving. And as he had mentioned last week, we know that Dana is one of the first, it's actually the first paramita, or one of the 6 perfections that we know in Buddhism. And the paramita of Dana, it's the perfection of generosity. And this is such an important paramita because it's the very beginning of realizing enlightenment for all beings. And this isn't just for ourselves, but for all beings. And as Koichi Sensei mentioned during the BWA service, Dana is a true, selfless act of generosity. This means that something is given from this sincere place in your heart to help and maybe support and benefit others. And not thinking about ourselves, not thinking about this expectation or reward that comes with giving. There's no recognition in that. And there must be no selfish ideas or attachments associated with that. So I wanted to share just a very short video clip with all of you today. Can everybody see the screen? I hope everybody can see the screen okay.
Bass.
Can I just skip it?
Skip to. Go ahead. You got it.
Like the mileage. I have no idea exactly.
Go, go. You got it. You got it.
More than 8 hours a week. Yeah. Okay, well.
This is my girl right here. I love her to bits. She is the best. This is my girl. He's like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I just got steak and potatoes. Good job, Ella. Ella, you're amazing. I think you just made his day. I think you just made his week. How does that make you feel?
I like it.
Okay, so some of you might have seen that video before. And from this video, obviously, this father is recording his daughter who had seen a homeless man sitting outside the restaurant where they were eating. And she initiated, from what we can see, this kind act of Donna. And she said, well, can I just give him, and her father encouraged her to do so. And she generously gave her meal to the man who was sitting outside. And I don't think that she expected anything in return. And as you could see, when she came back, there was this innocence about her as she watched the man enjoy the meal that she had just given him. However, as I was thinking about this video, in this age of cell phones and cameras and social media, I often wonder how much technology feeds our own egos and takes away from this true meaning of Dana. And I've watched this video and other videos online, and there's individuals doing many acts of kindness, such as possibly giving large amounts of money. I even saw this one man, he had given this homeless individual $100, and he recorded this individual to see what he would do, which in many occasions that I've seen online, the recipient of the money then purchases foods and goods for their friends as they selfishly share what they have purchased because of this person's act of generosity. So with this video that I shared today, and obviously the father's very proud of his daughter and expresses love and admiration for her, but I think it's also a good reminder about what Dana truly is, this act of selfless giving. So although I do believe that technology has been an asset for us, and it's been a wonderful advancement in the way that we continue to communicate and keep in touch with one another, especially with this time of the pandemic, and utilizing social media to connect and see what other people are doing and sharing in their joys and sadness, and even for us as well, being able to utilize Zoom to share the Dharma with each other, to be able to see everybody's smiling faces. But however, I often think about technology and how it does feed our egos in such a way that could possibly hinder this true definition of what Dana is, this selfless giving from the heart without expecting anything in return. So I think individuals can still truly give without the need to post on social media to receive praise for what they've done. By definition, this is not true Dana. And I was thinking that true Dana, it doesn't need the Facebook likes or the Instagram hearts or countless views on TikTok to be recognized. And so again, although I truly felt how proud that father was that his daughter gave her meal to the individual outside. But I think we can learn a lot from this young girl, as she selflessly just gave and watched him with her innocent face and her innocent eyes, watching him enjoy the meal that she just gave. And she said, yes, it felt good. So let us all remember, even myself, as I too have social media, that a true act of dana doesn't need to be posted to boost our own egos. True dana comes from our hearts without this expectation of anything like likes or hearts on Facebook or Instagram, um, to be able to be a true active dana. And we don't need anything in return. Okay, so I hope that this message, especially this video, encourages you to continue to look at your own hearts and your own acts of dana, and still continue to give to maybe those in need in a way that you feel most comfortable with. Again, without expecting anything in return, because we never know what another individual is experiencing or feeling. We don't know what their battle is. Um, and one way to help and support another individual, which is this idea of loving our sangha, is true dana and what that looks like for you. Okay, so please join me in gasho to conclude this dharma message. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Okay, so we'll continue the service with another recitation. Let's see. This one was cute. This was a very cute video of these babies sharing hugs, and maybe sometimes that's what we need as well. Okay, so we'll continue with our pledge. And this is written by Monchu Koljun Otani, who is our current head priest of our Jodo Shinshu School of Buddhism. And Monchu Otani, he had written this maybe a few years ago, and it's something, again, that we can really remember and to put into practice in our everyday lives. So please join me in Gasho as we read our pledge. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Okay, thank you for reading our pledge with me. So at this time, we'll share some announcements. And let's see. Of course, being the beginning of April, we'll go ahead and start with our April birthdays. And usually we have our students and adults come up to receive a cupcake. So I hope that since you'll be at home, you'll be able to celebrate with your own cupcake or your own birthday cake for your birthday. So for students, we have Ella Uemura, adults, Tad Shibata, Tiffany Shibata, Vivian Fuji, Kimi Ishihara, Misa Uemura, Martha Estrada, Joanne Uemura, and Catalina Estrada. So for any of our other Dharma friends, if you happen to have a birthday in April, please raise your hand and we'll be able to possibly see you. I think Darlene and Charlie are watching. Or if you'd like to mention your birthday, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday as well in the chat. Happy birthday, everybody. Okay, and so we'll monitor those if we have a few more April birthdays. So for announcements, please join us for April 11th, our virtual Hanamatsuri service at 10 a.m. Our guest speaker is Reverend Koho Takata, and he is from the West LA Buddhist Temple. And we're so fortunate to be able to have a guest speaker to commemorate the birthday of the baby Buddha.
A massive stupa that is built there now.
Also, keep saving your box tops so we can support our local schools when we open. And remember, for your donations, if you would like to donate your osaisen, your Sunday offering, you can mail it into the church, or you can donate it through the website on the donation link on the website. And for all of you who have supported us by your donations, we truly appreciate your generosity and your support. BWA, the Buddhist Women's Association, will also have a meeting following the Shotsuki service at 11:30. Are there any other announcements? No? Okay. And so I forgot to mention too, for the Hanamatsuri service, we will have a short presentation by the Dharma School students, and they will be showcasing some of their works regarding the theme of hopeful. And I believe there's going to be a raffle. So please stay on for the entirety of the service to support our students, and also for your chance to win at our raffle. Okay. So thanks so much, everybody. For those of you that would like to continue on for the Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of April, please continue to stay on. And for those of you who have to leave, I wanted to give you an opportunity, if you are a new Dharma friend, to announce yourselves or introduce yourselves. So do we have any new Dharma friends joining our service today that would like to introduce themselves? If not, if you feel a little bit shy, that's okay. You can put your name and say hello in the chat if you'd like as well. Darlene, I can't see anybody, but do you see any hands up or?
Nothing in the chat and no raised hands. Everybody's shy if they're new.
Okay, that's okay. Well, if you are new to our service today, thank you so much for joining us, and you're always welcome, just as everybody is always welcome to join our services. We appreciate your interest in the Buddhist Church of Stockton and in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. And of course, if there's any questions that you may have, please feel free to contact the temple office, and I'd be happy to assist you. Okay, so thanks so much, everybody. We appreciate your attendance this morning. And we can go ahead and jump into our Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of April. Okay. And for those of you that have to go, we understand. Please continue to stay safe and well. Okay, so I'll take a moment to prepare and share screen for our Shotsuki service. Okay. To begin this Shotsuki monthly memorial service, we will have an opening meditation prepared by Darlene Bagshaw. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Thank you, Darlene. And Darlene featured pictures from the Cortez Hawakai, beautiful photos of, looks like their Obon. I'm not sure which year that was, but their Obon festival and different events of Cortez. And it's been a pleasure to have Cortez members part of Stockton for a very, very long time. And a wonderful group of people in Cortez. So I'm glad that we were able to feature them in our opening meditation today. Thank you, Darlene. Okay, so we'll continue the service with a Sambujo, which is called 3 Respectful Callings, and we call upon Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and the Buddhas of the 10 directions to be present today. And this will be followed by the Hyobyakumo, which is the dedication declaring the purpose of our service today. And of course, the reading of the Shotsuki names, which include the Buddhist Church of Stockton, Cortez Hawakai, and the Walnut Grove Buddhist Church. For those of you from the Buddhist Church of Lodi, we will be recording and uploading a video, including the names of your loved ones directly onto the YouTube page. Okay, so please join me in the chanting of Sambujo to begin. Let us pause for a moment and turn our hearts in aspiration to the Buddha of infinite light and life. On this joint memorial service, we have gathered here in memory of the following people who have passed away. Kenji Akaba, Ruth Akaba, Kiyoshi Asai, Harry Jiro Baba, Gary Kiyoshi Fujihara, Glenn S. Fuji, Eiko Hamamoto, Ted Takashi Hayashi, Barbara Shizuko Hayashino, Kenso Higashiyama, Fumiko Hisaka, Julie Karen Hisaka, Tsukane Hisatomi, Kaiichi Horita, Kimi Horita, Douglas Kajioka, Tadaichi Kamidoi, Sumiko Kamigaki, Fumio Kanemoto, Masayuki Jim Kimura, Misao Koga, Takino Kuwabara, Irene Kaoru Matsuoka, Maureen Shigeo Mizuno, Hideo Morinaka, Kameki Morita, Linda Moriwaki, Tomiko Nakatsu, Alice Shizuko Nishida, Helen Harue Nishida, Fusae Nishimoto, Tomie Ota, Takeshi Okamoto, Miki Okubo, Frank Okuna, Frank Masao Okura, Isaburo Omiya, Ted Tadasu Oseto, George Sadaji Otsubo, Emiko Quinton, Kaname Sasaki, Grace Kyoko Shiba, Reiko Shibata, Fukutaro Shingu, Grace Takeuchi, Yutaka Tauchi, Harry Tsushima, Stephen Wakai, Yutaka Watanabe, Kichizo Yagi, Mildred Toshiko Yamamura, James Mineo Yamauchi, Chieko Yasui, Shizuko Mary Yonemura, Ayako Aida Yoshino, Ernest Yotsuya, Umeko Yotsuya, Tomoe Yamashita, Fumie Higashiyama, George Sakai, Molly Tsurue Shimobayashi, Edward Kiyoshi Nakade, Marcia Mariko Yagi, Shigeko Shintaku, Hidezo Shintaku, Shigeto Oto, Sensuke Yamagata, Mitsu Goto, Ikuzo Sano, Yoshimi Sugimoto, Haruko Kawata, Noboru Kinioka, Takeo Shinmoto, Mitsuko Shoji, Sugizo Uesugi, Chisaku Norikane, Asano Norikane, Sakata Kaga, Yoshito Okamoto, Chiyoko Furuta, Yoshiko Tokuyoshi, Shizue Ito, and Yuriko Ishizuka. Those who have departed and those who still remain, meeting again in spirit upon this memorial service. On this occasion, let us seek spiritual values to give meaning to a grateful and fuller life. May the boundless and supreme light of wisdom shine within our hearts and minds and guide us to follow the true Buddhist way of life. In deepest gratitude, please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandas. 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 So we'll continue the service with the sutra chanting of Sambutsuge. And Sambutsuge is translated in Gatha in praise of the Buddha. And I had mentioned during the Cortez Hawakai that Sambutsuge is actually part of the sutra, so it's considered a hymn. And so please join me in the chanting of this hymn of Sambutsuge at home. O genki gi ijimu gok myo muyo tosha nichigatsumani shukoen yo kaishitsuonpei 윤약주목 요다이요겐 조세무림 쇼가쿠다이온 고르지보 가이몬쇼진 산마이지에 이토쿠무료 슈쇼케우 진타이제넨 쇼부츠호카이 그진지노 그고가이타이 음요요그는 세손요문 니노시시 진토쿠무료 구근고다이 지혜지묘 고묘이소 신도다이센 강가사붓 사이쇼 간도쇼지 미프게다 우세조이 가이니쇼진 요세산마이 지혜이죠 고세토크붓 불교시간 이사이쿠쿠 이사다얀 계시우붓 야쿠센노쿠만 무료다이쇼 슈뇨고자 구요위사이 시도쇼붓 분요구도 겐쇼프격 인요고자 쇼부츠세카이 우프카게 무슈세츠도 고묘시쇼 헨시쇼콕 요세쇼진 이지나뇨 요가사붓 고쿠도다이치 고슈키뇨 도조 リムとソガトアイミドタツウィサイジポ大将死熱症状糸がこけだくわの鉱物死尿税が新書交通がの日力症所欲自暴生存知恵無限浄土子孫知が信用けどしし食毒中家業精進飲酒不見ラーマラブラーマラブラーマラブラーマラブラーマラブラーマラブアニシクドグ平等正祭どんも大一心往生大苦Namanda Utsinamanda 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 Utsinamanda. Okay, so thank you so much for chanting Sambutsuge with me at home. We'll continue on with the recitation of the three treasures. Please join me in Gasho. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we should be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. So at this time, I'd like to share my Dharma message for our Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of April. So actually, today's Dharma message was inspired by a member of the British Church of Stockton who recently passed away. And what I learned about him was essentially through his daughter and his granddaughter, since I don't believe I had the pleasure of meeting him before he passed away. And as a minister, I think one of the greatest joys of being a minister is meeting members of my temple, and of course members in the community who I may meet during different outreach activities, or maybe students or individuals who come to the temple, maybe being new, doing research on a paper, or even starting their journey as a Buddhist as well. So again, it really brings me much joy to be able to meet so many people of all walks of life. And of course, it makes me sad that we have to meet just through the computer or through your phones or iPads. However, it's still a wonderful opportunity for us to still virtually be together in this fashion during our virtual services. So, as a minister of a temple, and with all of the connections that I am so fortunate to make with all of my members, of course, it deeply saddens me when I hear of our members passing away as well. And so I was so honored to get to know this particular member through the hearts and minds of his daughter and his grandchildren. And I often do this as a way to be able to prepare for the service, and especially to select a Dharma name or a Buddhist name called a homyo. And so many of you may already have your homyo or your Buddhist name, but also many of our members receive a Buddhist name when they pass away as well. And so I too have my Buddhist name, which I believe I got when I was in my late teens, and it's stayed with me. And I think as a minister, it probably has more meaning to me now to be able to reflect on this Buddhist name. And my Buddhist name is Shoge. And I believe from what Reverend Motoyoshi had told me, it means great understanding. And so the Dharma is definitely a way of attaining this greater understanding of my life as a human being and all of the different afflictions that I do have, but also know this great understanding of Amida Buddha and the understanding that the Buddha does have for me as an individual, and this all-embracing wisdom and compassion that is always coming towards me. So getting back to this particular member, as his daughter and his grandchildren spoke about him, I actually got the chills even over the phone, learning more about him. And I think it was a very visceral way of just being impacted by the way in which they spoke about their father, their grandfather, and the love that they had for him through the words that they shared with me. And so my eyes also feel filled with tears. And many of you know that I'm a person who shows emotion very easily. And even just over the phone, my eyes kind of welled with tears as I learned about his character just over this phone conversation. And their family made me feel very welcomed. There was just the way in which we spoke and how they shared with me that really made me feel a part of their family as well. And I really appreciate their sharing with me so that I was able to get a glimpse of the person that he was, and also to prepare for this service to honor him. And so, again, a way in which we do honor our loved ones when they pass away is by granting a homyo or a Buddhist name. And so what I gathered from the family, I was able to select Buddhist kanji, or excuse me, Japanese kanji. And each Buddhist name is comprised of 3 different kanji characters. And I selected this particular kanji, mu-en, shaku mu-en, for this individual. And I just wanted to share with you these particular kanji that really meant a lot in regards to his character and just showed his character. So this first character, Shaku, Shaku means disciple of the Buddha. And when we receive a Buddhist name, we all receive this particular character. There's also a different way to write shaku, maybe a little bit easier kanji character for shaku, but it's both the same. It means that we have become a disciple of the Buddha. This shows the family that we are now a part of or had been by being a disciple of the Buddha. So we receive this kanji for shaku, as in like Shakyamuni Buddha. And the second kanji character that was selected is this mu. And mu, it works as like not or no or this un. And I'll get to that. So it essentially negates the next kanji character that comes after it. Okay. The third kanji character I selected is en, which is condition. So when you put these two together as mu en, it means the literal translation is no condition or unconditional, unconditioned or unconditional. So I translated this member's Buddhist name as one who accepts unconditionally, one who accepts unconditionally. And so again, there were so many reasons why I selected this Buddhist name, and I just wanted to share just again how special this individual was, especially from what they had mentioned, which I was so deeply touched from. And so, coming from the grandchildren, this individual accepted them, and they never felt judged by their grandfather. And I also learned that he was so kind and accepting, no matter the circumstance that either the children or grandchildren were experiencing. And he definitely had a way of making people feel at ease and welcomed in his home. And I really think that these traits were definitely passed down to his the children and the grandchildren as well. As I had mentioned, there was a feeling that I felt in my chest and in my heart of feeling very welcomed by this particular family, just over the phone. And so, as the family had mentioned, there were no conditions, and that allowed him to show how much love he had for them. He was a man of few words, very humble person, and from what the children and grandchildren had said, his daughter specifically had said that his actions spoke volumes. And although he was a man of very little words, it showed how much he did care about his family. And he was a strong individual, a problem solver who always found a way to make things happen. And so I also inquired about what Buddhism meant to this particular individual, this member. And they mentioned that he was a Buddhist through and through. He lived his life in a way that was a foundation. Part of the foundation of his life was the Buddhist teachings. And he had many losses in his life, and I believe that this made him a very humble and grateful person as well. And he respected and accepted things just as they were in his life. And he accepted things that he could not change. And he also searched for awakening within his own life. And now that he's passed away, he truly has become an awakened being, a truly awakened being, an enlightened being. And I think for all of our family members who have passed away, especially thinking about all those family members from our April Shotsuki Hoyo, they too have become these very personal Buddhas in a way, guiding us with their unconditional love, unconditional wisdom, and compassion. And that's what I wanted to bring out in regards to sharing these memories that this family had of this particular member, and the kanji characters, mu en, unconditional, and how important this unconditional love and acceptance is in Buddhism, but also as Amida Buddha in the back here represents this unconditional wisdom and compassion. And what I wanted to do, and hopefully we can share this without being dinged on YouTube, but I wanted to share a Shotsky Song of the Month. So I think I was starting this when I first came to Stockton, but I kind of wanted to get back to it because I think music and lyrics have a very powerful way of maybe expressing some things that I can't, but also to maybe reach all of you at home as well. And so I'm sure that many of you might be able to guess which song I'm going to pick, but this song is called Unconditional um, by Katy Perry. And I hope you could all hear it too. So please sit with me and enjoy this song, Unconditional by Katy Perry. And hopefully it'll kind of bring all of this together in regards to this particular member's life, and also this unconditional wisdom and compassion and love and acceptance from Amida Buddha, and what we can learn from both of these individuals. Okay, so let's take a moment to listen and read the lyrics together.
Oh no, did I get too close? Oh, did I almost see what's really on the inside? All your insecurities, all the dirty laundry, never made me blink one time. Unconditional, unconditionally, I will love you unconditionally. There is no fear now. Let go and just be free. I will love you unconditionally. Come just as you watching me. Don't need apologies. Know that you are worthy. I'll take your bad days with your good. Walk through the storm, I would. I do it all because I love you. I love you unconditional, unconditionally. I will love you unconditionally. There is no fear now. Let go and just be free. I will love you unconditionally. So open up your heart and just let it begin. Open up your heart and just let it begin. Open up your heart and just let it begin. Open up your heart. Acceptance is the key to be truly free. Will you do the same for me? Unconditional, unconditionally, I will love you unconditionally. And there is no fear now. Let go and just be free. 'Cause I will love you unconditionally. Oh yeah. I will love you unconditionally. I will love you. I will love you unconditionally.
Okay, so thank you for listening to Unconditionally with me. And many of you have probably heard that song before by Katy Perry, but I really think it does just emphasize the character of our member who had passed away from Stockton. And I, again, was reminded through his life, through what his family had shared, and of course through this song of truly being able to love and accept unconditionally. And that means, of course, even within our everyday lives as well, unconditionally loving one another, accepting where a person is in their life, understanding that they too, as I mentioned, might be battling, might be struggling with something that we may not fully understand, but still accepting them just as they are in this particular time in their life. And I know sometimes, of course, as human beings, it's very hard to be able to do so. But I think if we can learn from this individual, this song, of course, from Amida Buddha enshrined on the altar, that it is possible to be able to do that. And so I hope that each of you can, even myself, look at myself in the mirror to realize this unconditional love that we can extend to others as well. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me and listening to my Dharma message, and of course the song, the Shotsky Song of the Month, as we remember all of our loved ones who, of course, are unconditionally guiding us and also encouraging us to deepen our foundation in the Buddha Dharma so that we too can journey to the Pure Land and have this unconditional love and wisdom and compassion for others as well. What I would like to do, and this is something that was shared in Florin, was this sharing of the letter on white ashes. And I know many of us hear this at memorial services and at funeral services, but I think it's a nice way, especially during our Shotsky service, to be able to hear this letter again. And this allows us to really think about the impermanence of all life, of course, as we think about our loved ones who have passed away, and to encourage us while we're still living to remember this interconnection and this impermanence of our life as well, and how fragile and fleeting it really is. So if you could kindly bow your head in reflection and reverence as this letter is read, I'd really appreciate it. On white ashes. As we deeply observe the transient form of human life, we realize that in this world, from the beginning to end, what is momentary and passing is the illusory course of human life. Thus, we have not heard of anyone receiving human form which lasts for 10,000 years. The course of life ebbs very rapidly. Can anyone preserve their body for 100 years at the present time? Not knowing whether it will come today or tomorrow, those who depart before us are as countless as the drops of dew. Therefore, in the morning we may have radiant health. In the evening we may be white ashes. When the winds of uncertainty strike, our eyes are closed forever. When the last breath leaves our body, the healthy color of the face is transformed and we lose the appearance of radiant life. Loved ones may gather and lament, but to no avail. When such an event occurs, the body is sent into an open field and cremated, leaving only the white ashes. What a sad plight. Thus, we see that we cannot control is the passing away of the young and old alike. Therefore, we should all look to our future life with faith in Amida Buddha and repeat the sacred name. With reverence, I remain. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo. Okay. So as you know, that there are different versions of the translation on white ashes, and so that's just one of a few different translations that I can share in the future as well. Okay. So let's continue on with the Jodo Shinshu Creed number 2. Please join me in Gassho. I affirm my faith in Amida's infinite wisdom and compassion. Reciting the sacred name, I shall live with strength and joy. I shall look to Amida's guiding light. As I reflect upon my imperfect self, I live with gratitude for the perfect compassion which surrounds me at all times. I shall follow Amida's teachings. I shall understand the right path and resolve to spread the true teachings. I rejoice in Amida's wisdom and compassion. I shall respect and help my fellow beings and work for the good of my community. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo. Okay, so that will conclude the service portion. I'd like to share again just a few announcements for those of you who weren't here during our first service. So in regards to April, we have a few April birthdays, and this includes Ella Uemura, Tad Shibata, Tiffany Shibata, Vivian Fuji, Kimi Ishihara, Misa Uemura, Martha Estrada, Joanne Uemura, Catalina Estrada. Are there any other friends online today that are celebrating April birthdays? If you're too shy, that's okay. But we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday for all of our friends celebrating birthdays in April. Also for announcements, please join us April 11th for our virtual Hanamatsuri service at 10 a.m. This will be via Zoom, and our guest speaker is Reverend Koho Takata. And Reverend Takata is from the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple, and so he'll be joining us. And keep saving your box tops so that we can support our local schools when we open. And for all of you who have donated in the past, either by mail or online, we truly appreciate your support of the temple. You can continue to mail in or donate online if you wish to donate your Osai-sen for today. Also, there is a Buddhist Women's Association meeting for Stockton BWA at 11:30. Are there any other announcements, or do we have any Dharma friends, new Dharma friends joining our service today that would like to introduce themselves?
I'm visiting from the West Covina Buddhist Temple in Southern California.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining.
And I'm
I
Tanya.
appreciate it. Tanya, thanks so much for contacting me and joining our service. So thank you. I know sometimes everybody's a little bit shy, so but thank you to all of our new Dharma friends who are online today or calling in. We always appreciate your attendance and interest in the temple and in Buddhism. And of course, if I can be of any help or assistance, please contact the office if you would like more information about Buddhism as well. So thank you everyone for taking time out of your schedules this morning to join me for our Sunday Dharma service and the Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of April. And also thank you to Charlie and Darlene Bagshaw for your assistance with Zoom. Of course, Darlene, thank you so much for your opening meditations as well. And Tachibata for preparing the flower arrangements for me today too. Okay, so thanks everybody. We truly appreciate your attendance, and please again join us on April 11th for the celebration of the Buddha's birthday. Okay, so thanks so much. Continue to stay safe and well, and hopefully we'll see you in the near future. Until then, take good care. Bye everyone.